So it's Michael to throw for the bullseye first.
Well, this is the decider
25.
then. Michael van Gerwen, the world #1, and Ryan Searle.
25.
A man who comes into this as an unseeded player today. He could be our first unseeded winner on a Players' Championship since way back last Saturday when Gary Anderson won, although this one does feel slightly
so Michael's won the ball.
I'm Dan Dawson. Chris Murphy's joined me for this one. It is the best player on the planet, Mighty Mike, and heavy metal Ryan Searle, looking to win his first ever PDC ranking title.
Yeah, well, the previous record in matches between this pair and the status and ranking in World Dart suggests that this should be something of a mismatch. But if you watch the progress of both players today, and indeed the semi-finals we've just had, it should be anything but, because Ryan Searle has survived fewer scares than Michael van Gerwen this afternoon, and has just produced a quite brilliant performance, the dispatch of his fellow Dutchman Jeffrey de Zwaan in the semis, averaging identical
140
the figures to MVG in his win against Peter Wright, where they both averaged 101.3. So MVG, Dan, certainly could and should 96. Have the game on his hands.
Yeah, I think so, and look, we know that when Ryan Searle's on it, he's great. Look at this.
140.
Back-to-back ton 40s. We saw it at the World Championship where, I'll be honest, he had Gary Anderson
60.
Beaten. He was all over him. Absolutely battering him off the board. 3-1 up in sets, and then Anderson found a way to turn it around, but had to play some really good darts to stop him.
Gerwen not going to complete the 1-5-2 combination, and already in this final his throw is under threat. Bullseye.
Game shot.
Oh my, bullseye for Ryan Searle to take the first leg with a break.
Ryan Searle has only ever been in one ranking final in PDC darts before. That was when he took on Nathan Aspinall.
180.
Where they were both players who had never won a ranking title before. It was an enormous game for the pair of them.
59.
This will feel so much different for Ryan. Not only has he been here before at this stage, but he knows he's the underdog. He knows it's a free roll. If he loses to Van Gerwen, it doesn't, you know, he's
60.
not expected to beat Van Gerwen.
He's taken the first leg in the final. He's fired in the first 180 of the final. He hit 12 before the final today, 6 of them coming in the semi-final.
Well, that's the thing. He's not been smashing
140.
in 180s, but he's only had one average below 96.5. That is an astonishingly consistent
95.
display.
Yeah, went for the treble 7, didn't have to
81.
bother with the bullseye at the end of this leg, because Michael van Gerwen is stranded somewhere near Salford.
140.
Well, Van Gerwen, by contrast, he has had a couple of off performances today.
Game shot.
And he finds himself 2-0 down, as he was, it has to be said, in the semi-final to Peter Wright. Then he rattled off 6 legs on the spin. But he might have to do something similar here.
59.
And if anything, Ryan Searle is playing a bit better than Peter Wright in the early stages of this.
Well, it has been a case, hasn't it, for MVG this afternoon of either demolishing
45.
his opponent with an excellent display or getting embroiled in a bit of a scrap and wriggling out of it.
Well, his game against Willie Borland, it was only a 91 average. It was only a 95 average against Ryan Joyce, and he survived match darts. I don't know
93.
how many, but I think at least 3. Maybe more, maybe as many as 6. But he has had a let-off.
100.
He still considers this part of the year, with his new equipment and everything, a bit of a trial phase. He's using different gear than he is in the Premier League.
133.
And he's still able to throw big averages, you know. Peter Wright, who was great, 107 average to start the day against Maywisser. Great display against Dirk van Duijvenbode on this streaming board earlier.
99.
He has won, of course, over 130 titles in his career, Michael van Gerwen now, but yet to pick one up this year, and that will be something that will just niggle in his mind, even though, as you say, Danny, is kind of treating the first 3 months as a transition period, if you like.
97.
We saw a few first-time winners on the Players' Championship Series last year, likes of Jose de Sousa, Glenn Durrant, of course, Harry Ward, Willie O'Connor. Can Ryan Searle become a first-time winner? Well, another one in there would have given him a dart at tops.
100.
This is a big visit already for Michael van Gerwen in the context of this final. And he's not even got a dart at double.
22.
Do not miss the big number, as we call it, Chris Murphy.
Criminal stuff from MVG.
Game shot.
And Searle nicks the leg.
Ryan Searle is 3-0 up with 2 breaks of throw against the world #1 in a ranking final.
140.
And the thing is, he's averaging high 90s again here.
100.
He's been averaging high 90s all day. There is nothing to suggest that Ryan Searle's level is going to drop.
140.
Nothing at all. He's been playing like this since midday.
There has been superb stuff from the 32-year-old
140.
from Wellington in Somerset.
What did he do before he was a darts player?
He was a window cleaner, Ryan Searle.
That's it, yeah.
97.
He has had some impressive victories, not just the calibre of performances, as you've alluded to already, Dan, but the calibre of opponent as well. The likes of Glenn Durrant, Gerwen Price, Michael Smith, all along the way.
Treble 18. Leaves in the bull again. Oh my
99.
word. But Michael van Gerwen might only get a dart at the bullseye here. It's another big moment. Double 12. And the last start is there. Michael van Gerwen clinging on in this final. He was very nearly 4-0 down.
The former window cleaner almost halfway up the ladder. But van Gerwen just 59. Got his hands on his ankle now.
Are all former window cleaners this good at darts, Murph?
58.
I can confirm they are not.
Yeah, from personal experience.
But most people that are this good at darts are not that good at cleaning windows.
96.
So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it? I have to say, Ryan Searle can barely see the dartboard, so I'm not sure how many complaints he would have got for smears and smudges.
Well, I mean, if there were written complaints, he probably didn't see them either, so it probably doesn't matter.
86.
Ryan Searle is literally, and this is not hyperbole, this is not an exaggeration, he is only just above the
59.
legal limit in terms of his vision to be able to drive a car, and we are talking tiny margins.
So he could be declared legally blind if his vision deteriorates, and then we could have a legally blind darts champion on our hands.
180.
Oh my word. He's just a feel player. And he must be feeling excellent, but this might ruin his mood, and that is Michael van Gerwen pinning the double. Last start, under pressure.
And with a third of the
41.
bed covered as well from MVG, as we saw from that replay there.
$119.
How important is that missed dart at bullseye for a 4-0 lead going to turn out to be?
134. $123.
It's played at a very easy on the eye pace this match.
60.
It will be a pace that perhaps will suit Michael van Gerwen, or should suit Michael van Gerwen.
It should suit the pair of them, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
80.
it's just kind of walk up, collect your darts, walk round and throw them again, isn't it?
But then, look, Ryan Searle, he's played Michael Smith
40.
and Jeffrey Desvaughn, but he's also played Michael Barnard and Glenn Durrant. Doesn't matter how quick it's going, the man's been throwing high 90s averages all day.
83.
There may just be a door ajar here for Searle, although it doesn't look like he's going to walk through it.
83.
A 96 finish is not the easiest, because if you don't find the treble 20, then it's a treble and double or 2 doubles, but never mind, he has found it. Although
78.
not the double.
Tricky one, this, though. Tricky, but not impossible. Double 16. Oh my word. Oh my word.
Straight for it, straight in it, and back level as quick as a flash. It looked as if Michael van Gerwen was sinking in the quicksand in this final, but all of a sudden he's levelled it up and effectively has control of this tie, but only after an almighty scare from Searle.
Yeah, well, he has won the last 3 legs, Michael van Gerwen, but he's survived a dart in 2 of those.
60.
So this game very much alive, but MVG did go 2-0 down in the semis.
100.
And found himself 6-2 up against Peter Wright, the world champion.
What Ryan Searle was doing very well against Jeffrey Desvan was whenever he got kind of
100.
halfway down a leg, below 250, he could produce big numbers then, just right when it mattered, either in terms of a big setup shot or a big finish.
Bit like that Van Gerwen's just done, yeah?
Yeah, he made the case against Ryan Searle,
97,
who can't leave a finish. And Van Gerwen should make it 4 on the spin.
62.
Well, you're allowed to miss those ones when your opponent's only halfway down from 501. Ryan Searle knows
57.
what it's like to go up against MVG. He's done it 4 times before and he's never managed to win.
Game shot.
And he finds himself behind despite having that 3-0 head start in this one. And how does Ryan Searle bounce back?
140.
Because even the world champion couldn't bounce back against MVG in the semis.
Yeah, it certainly has a similar feel.
60.
Van Gerwen taking the chances that he's offered.
119.
Well, at the start of the year, I mean, obviously this is a massive this is a bigger game for Ryan Searle than it is for Michael van Gerwen. That's not to say it isn't an important
99.
game for MVG, because I'm sure he's desperate to get a first title of the year and a first title with these new darts. But
100.
irrespective of the result, this surely puts Ryan Searle in great stead for the rest of 2020, particularly when you consider his only other ranking final was
58.
in the last Pro Tour weekend, wasn't it? So it wasn't as if he had loads more Pro Tour action to look forward to when he'd proven that he was in some good form.
64.
Well, he's made a good fist of this 8th leg and looks in pole position
93.
to tie up the match and just halt that charge of the green machine. Double top would do that, and has done that. We may be talking about more than just another final appearance for Ryan Searle. There is still plenty of legs in this match yet.
Yeah, well, anybody who is not already in the frame for things like the World Match Play, the World Grand Prix, then winning one of these titles is a big, big step towards that. And Ryan Searle, of course, unseeded. This would be a big step towards getting in the seeded
140.
These floor tournaments.
Of course, whoever wins will be the story of the day, but it is a day that has thrown up a few stories. We've had 2 9-darters, Mensah Suljovic, captured live on the stream. You can see that for yourself on the PDC social media channels. Danny Noppert added his name to the 2020 9-dart club. Also Lisa Ashton winning a couple of games as well.
140.
Yeah, she's getting further and further, isn't she? First round exit first day, second round exit second day, third round exit third day, as MVG wants the bull and pins it for a 164. Darts of an absolute legend. A 12-darter on the bullseye, and Ryan Searle can only look on from a distance. He'll have no idea where that bullseye landed, but I think the reaction probably told him.
60.
Well, he was on 82 when Van Gerwen completed that combination, so he should have been expecting at least 1 dart.
100.
And as you say, Dan, that is what champions do.
98 averages the pair. 5-4
78.
effectively on throw, despite these runs of legs that we've seen in this final. You said that the performances so far today suggested that Van Gerwen was going to be given a game. He is being tested and given a real game by Ryan Searle.
180.
An expertly timed maximum, just keeping himself in front, keeping himself in command.
96.
In this leg, and it's looking likely to be tied after 10.
59.
Well, if you're up against Michael van Gerwen, I don't care whether you're an unseeded player or even
100.
the world number 2. If you say, well, hang on, just give me 5-5 in a race to 8, so it's just an effectively best of 5 legs, I'll take that. I fancy me chances. Does he fancy the bull?
99.
Can't pin it.
Couldn't make it 5-5. Double 6.
72.
Would have made it 6-4. Another chance for Ryan Searle to level up.
Game shot.
And it is 5-5, and he has got that race to 3. Can he make the most of it?
Well, I assume, I've not seen Ryan Searle on this streaming board all day, but the average is the same as he's been doing all the way through the day. He is right there within a point of his average for the day.
180.
I'll tell you what he did as well, Dan. He peaked at the back end of the match against Jeffrey Disvan. That's a good omen.
Well, that's his 4th 180 of this match. It's only 16 for the day. That's good, but it's not mind-blowing over 7 matches. His finishing must have been excellent, and it's been excellent here today, and this is excellent.
140.
5 perfect darts against the Van Gerwen throw.
Well, he had 7 in the semi-final, but he needs a break.
96.
And the moment could be arriving, should be arriving. 1 treble puts him in business.
105.
And that is sensible thinking as well.
$57.
Leaves tops. He's been very good on double
56.
top, but this one just cannot find the mark.
Well, this would be devastating.
138.
It wasn't far away. The 2 darts bunched in the corner of the treble, but the double missed, and that hit by Ryan Searle, who now, well, it's his match to lose.
Ryan Searle is 2 legs away, not only from a first ever win over world number 1 Michael van Gerwen, but his first ever ranking title in PDC darts. He did win a couple of times on the Challenge Tour back in 2016 before he earned his spot on the full tour, where he has been ever since, and always looked a dangerous player when he's in those streaks of form. There have been months at a time where he could barely win a game. In fact, he couldn't win a game. But when he is playing well, like he was at the World Championship, like he's been doing here today, he really does look dangerous.
He's one of those carefree types, Ryan Searle. If you talk to him behind the scenes, he just gets on with it, throws his darts and sort of sees what happens, and it might be the right attitude for a meeting with the likes of MVG, because let's not forget, Ryan Searle has had to step back in this match and watch at one point as the world number 1 reeled off 4 consecutive legs. It hasn't floored him.
It hasn't, but MVG has hit straight back after being broken.
60.
Leaves himself a 2-dart checkout.
Has to hit big here, just to apply the pressure.
95.
And that ain't really going to do it.
16 for double. No, he's gone 8 for tops.
48.
And it's just a little short.
Well, he had a 157 in the semi-final. Not going to add a 158 to the collection.
94.
He is relying on MVG missing, and relying on the best player on the planet missing is not a good strategy.
Game shot.
6-6. It is a best of 3. News of the World rules. Champion of Champions rules. Of course, Ryan Searle is a man who's had some success in that tournament himself.
95.
He'd have probably bitten your hand off if you'd offered him this situation.
140.
He has to break the Van Gerwen throw. He's done it 3 times in this final.
99.
Well, he's in with a shout here. Has to find a couple of trebles, you would feel, this visit, if not
81.
rectify it in the next. That's a let off for MVG.
100. 85. 43.
Just 43. And Van Gerwen knows it's a slip. Look at this.
171.
Oh, fabulous stuff from Ryan Searle. 171. Surely MVG can't do this again. He can't do it again. Oh, he can't do it again.
88.
To go back ahead and move within one leg.
12.
3 darts have been missed by Ryan Searle. Is that the moment that he served up the tie to MVG?
68.
Double 4 right on the wire. You can't get closer than that without the dart going in. Ryan Searle probably would have thought it was in, but that is in,
Game shot.
and he's in business.
Searle was brilliant at the start. Van Gerwen seemed to be taking control of this. Then they've just been sniping at each other until these latter stages. And that
60.
miss from MVG, that double 6 from Ryan Searle, that has just given him a sniff. He is a leg from glory.
140.
Ryan Searle
140.
has been playing PDC stuff. He had his tour card at the start of 2017. There have been long,
59.
long periods where he's questioned whether it's right for him because he's not been winning games. His confidence was through the floor. And now he is
180.
potentially 3 darts away from beating the best player in the world and winning a ranking title.
Well, it has been
98.
a remarkable run from Ryan Searle and an exceptional performance. He's not going to seal it here and now. He's just doing his sums. Michael Van Gerwen shaking his head. He knows he's
81.
powerless right now. Totally powerless.
Ryan Searle, 1 dart away. A huge
58.
moment in this man's life and career.
Game
And
shot
Super
and the match.
Searle stuns Van Gerwen in the final. An 8-6 victory against the world number 1, whose wait for a title in 2020 continues. But Saturday belongs to Searle in Wigan. A superb run which has seen him beat the likes of Glenn Durrant, Michael Smith, the world number 3 Gerwyn Price, and now the world number 1 Michael Van Gerwen. None of them were a match for that man, Ryan Searle. What a performance, a first PDC title from heavy metal, and we're going to hear what it means to him now with Dan.
Ryan Searle, you have just beaten the best player on the planet to win your first ranking title in PDC darts. What are the emotions right now?
I don't know really. My first game of the day against Gerwyn Price, I was 4-1 down. Managed to come back and win 6-4. He let me in a couple of times, and I managed to just take my chances. And I can't believe I'm stood here now, to be honest.
You have beaten some incredible players today, some major champions, some guys who have either won world titles or people expect to go and win world titles, and you've shown that you can not only mix it with them, which we knew, but you can beat them, you can win titles. This is what you've been working towards for years, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I can't believe it, to be honest. I don't know if I'm overcritical of myself sometimes, that I don't think I've played that well in days and just get myself down, but I think I played that well today, to be honest, and I ended up winning, which is like unreal, to be honest. I can hear the rain coming down on the roof, and it just reminds me of being in my little man cave at the bottom of the garden practicing away in this rain. So yeah, I'm over the moon to win. Can't believe it.
You play BDO stuff. You played on the Challenge Tour to get your chance to play in the PDC system. This was always the dream, to be able to do this and win titles. Did you think it was genuinely possible back when you were down in the southwest cleaning windows for a living, playing darts as a bit of fun?
Probably not, but people always told me that I could go a long way if I was to take it seriously. I perhaps didn't believe them. And I think I probably still lack a bit of self-belief, and I just need to start believing in myself because I know what I can do, and I haven't performed to the best of my ability yet, and so that's something I need,
You've
look
averaged
forward to.
You've averaged pretty much 97
All day long,
for
yeah.
the whole day. That is a phenomenal level of consistency, and you've been put under pressure by some great players as well. It must be really satisfying to do that right the way through. You've not had like an off game where somebody's missed a load of darts against you or anything like that. You've played really well and earned that win and beat Van Gerwen in a final. Come on, man, that's what dreams are made of.
It is, yeah. When you put it like that, yeah, that's great. I just can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe it. I felt like after the World Championship, I played well. I think I let myself down a little bit against Gary when I was 3-1 up, and overthought the situation completely and just talked myself out of winning that game. So I've just been down in my little man cave at the bottom of the garden, just trying to, in my head, put myself in certain situations, and playing Van Gerwen in a final is one of those situations. Like when you're practicing, you sort of put yourself in and you just think, right, just come on, just take every chance you get, and that's all you can do.
What does this mean to you? I can see you're struggling not to cry here, Ryan, and I absolutely adore that, because this does mean a lot to anybody who wins one, but let alone somebody to win their first one, and in the circumstance, because you've had months in this game where you couldn't win a game at these floor tournaments, and you must have questioned whether this is going to work out.
Yeah. I was texting my girlfriend after the Gerwen Price game, and I was like trying to hold back the tears after that game. I was talking to one of the officials, and he said some nice words to me, and I don't know, I just went from there. I know what I can do, and I haven't played anywhere near like I know what I can do yet, so I got plenty to look forward to.
Every single player I've ever talked to, every single expert I've ever talked to, they say, look, darts, there's mechanical stuff, there's technique, there's all of this stuff, but what's up there, confidence, is often the deciding factor about how far people go. A couple of years ago, you were playing a bloke called Nathan in a final. Neither of you had won one. He won it. Look what's happened to him. Do you think that could happen to you? Once something clicks, you know what you can do, then you start producing it when it really matters in tournaments like this and in TV tournaments.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, Nathan's done phenomenal with, after beating me in that final, I was gutted. I think I was the favourite going into that final. Which,
it was close.
When you look at that now, that's unreal. But look, I can just keep plodding on and just keep trying to move forward. Today's a big win, but I still can't believe it. To be honest, honestly can't believe it.
No. He may be softly spoken, he may be very, very modest, but this man is an incredible dart player who has just beaten the world #1, the best player on the planet. Another superb win on the Pro Tour, another incredible day of Pro Tour action. Saw 2 9 darters, one on the live stream from Mentor Sully, which you probably heard that from over the other side of the room at the time. We'll be back tomorrow. Ryan Searle will look to do the double and win another one. Michael Van Gerwen will be back looking to win his first title of 2020. We'll see you from 12 o'clock tomorrow for Players' Championship 4.